In the TED Talk from Andres Schiedler, using data to build better schools, I found his opinions very interesting about how America went from number one in education in the 60s to ranking 13th in the 90s, and how our education system is failing students. I can't say I disagree. As an educator, a private tutor, and an advocate for kids with special needs, I see a lot of families, a lot of students, children, and a lot of situations. But something that's quite prevailing with a lot of my students, especially in the Boca Raton area, is instead of acknowledging a student's shortcomings and trying to help them overcome that, or acknowledging their particular area of brilliance, parents are just very concerned with the college that their child would go to. Instead of being happy if they go to any college, they want them to go to the best school because the best school is going to provide the best education and yada yada, which it's just not true. The best school is not going to provide the best job at the end. And Mr. Schiedler's speech even explained that the education system's failing because they're not treating professionals properly like teachers. In Korea, teachers are paid a good salary, they're respected. In America, teachers have become the butt of the problem, the butt of the joke. Nobody wants their child to become a teacher because they're not going to make money. It's just not a respected profession. And then there's also people blaming the public education system. And then they say in America, oh, well, we're not spending enough money on our students. But according to Mr. Schiedler, 20% of how a student does is only on what's spent in the school. So an overwhelming 80% of that student's education really has nothing to do with how much is spent per capita per student. I thought this was a very interesting TED Talk. I think it's very poignant and unfortunately very true. Educators were at one point respected, but in the last couple decades, and I from my research, it looks like it's been since the 80s. In the 70s, it was very difficult to get a teaching job. Then in the 80s, it looks like the plight of the profession started to go down. Teachers are not given the respect, and helicopter parents are partially the blame. Instead of saying, oh, Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, how can my child do better in your class? It now became, well, Miss So-and-so, why would you do that and put my child in that position? And I think that our public education system is not building students to become functioning adults. And I also think that's what Mr. Schiedler was saying here.